reaction to yesterday's purge of senior ICE officials from field offices around the country?
The White House was able to find funding for military, for WIC, for farmers. Should the White House now be able to find some funding for the SNAP program?
I don't know any of the details of that yet. I just heard about that literally. I was walking in.
I want to start the day off debunking MAGA Mike Johnson as the Trump-led government shutdown now passes day 28 as he still refuses to negotiate with Democrats, still refuses to bring the House back. So if you can, leave us a like on the video. It helps us out a ton. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers, and let's just get right to it.
The president was checked out of his job for quite some time, and everybody knows it. And there was a cover-up with the people around him who were using, they would give him scripts to follow. They would point him literally in the direction, stand here, sir, wave like this. And he didn't know what he was signing.
So this is an executive order on flag burning?
So there's all sorts of just incredible implications. It sounds like a terrible novel or something, but this is reality. He pardoned categories of violent criminals and turned them loose on the streets.
He is pardoning some 1,500 January 6 rioters who have been convicted for participating in the attack on the Capitol 4 years ago.
A January 6 rioter who was pardoned by President Trump has been arrested and charged with making a credible death threat against Democratic House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries.
You can't allow a president to check out and have unelected, unaccountable, faceless people making massive decisions for the country.
We're 9 months into the Trump administration and these clowns are still desperately invoking Biden to try to distract from their constant failures. Like, do we ever think this stops? Let's run through these claims he's made. In Biden's last year or so, he negotiated one of the biggest hostage swaps in recent history. We know for a fact he was personally on the phone call doing so. I'm sure he did it with dementia though, right? And throughout his term, he passed 7 pieces of legislation, 2 or 3 bipartisanly. These clowns can't pass anything bipartisanly. They can't even negotiate with Democrats to keep the government open. Trump literally has people explain executive orders to him as he signs them on camera. Trump pardoned over 140 Jan 6ers who beat cops, including ones who recently threatened Hakeem Jeffries, and he shows mental decline every single day. These people haven't had something work as well as Biden old since weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, so they're so desperate to not have to let it go. It's starting to get sad and pathetic.
What's your reaction to yesterday's purge of senior ICE officials from field offices around the country? Are you worried that that's going to result in less experienced leadership at ICE? And again, when is it time for Congress to do some oversight?
I don't know any of the details of that yet. I just heard about that literally. I was walking in, so I'm not going to comment on it until I find out the details. I know some of these things get misportrayed.
We've covered at least 10 of these during this government shutdown, and he gives "I don't know" so often. It's insane how bad at his job he is. I mean, we all know he's really just avoiding the question, but if he really didn't know anything, like, are we supposed to just believe it's the woke Democrats to blame for everything? How would he even know? He doesn't know anything. What is this, right? Trump fired top ICE officials in LA, Denver, Philadelphia, Phoenix, and San Diego, and replaced them with loyalist Border Patrol guys. This is as, again, they're ramping up their flashy marketing, saying things like finish the job, offering to pay student loan debt for those who sign up to come harass brown people. I mean, it's all a bunch of lunacy, but apparently none of the Republicans have heard of it. Kind of crazy. They must be working too hard, right? Just like any of the other things that are inconvenient or they don't want to answer to, like the Epstein files, right? Or prices going up. But MAGA still has time to do press tours.
The White House was able to find funding for military, for WIC, for farmers. Should the White House now be able to find some funding for the SNAP program if they've done it for all these other ones?
They certainly tried. I mean, one of the reasons that this shutdown has not yet been as painful as it might otherwise have been is because the president is bent over backwards, the administration. Think of it this way. The White House, the executive branch in a shutdown, has a large control panel full of dials. Under the Obama administration, they turned those dials, the pain dials, to 10 immediately. You remember it was so egregious to us. Speaking of our veterans, I mean, they put yellow crime tape around the World War II memorial so that people who would serve their country could not go visit the memorial. They wanted it to hurt. The Democrats have shown, and they've said in their own words, this is leverage. It gets better for them every day. They don't mind inflicting pain on the American people if they can somehow get some sort of political points out of it. The Republican Party is the opposite. And President Trump has proven that every day of this shutdown. He has tried to move funds around to find unobligated funds.
I think it's kind of funny to invoke Obama here, like, oh, he was so bad, when Trump unprecedentedly fired thousands of federal workers, including the entirety of the special education offices in the Department of Education, and he's pausing grants in specifically blue districts, all as he refuses to even meet with Democrats to possibly negotiate ending it, and as veterans and others are having to rely on food banks, as over 40 million are set to have their food stamps paused as Thanksgiving is right around the corner. And it's funny because you still have MAGA trying to say, oh, well, the government shutdown hasn't affected me. No, we know. If you voted for Donald Trump, we know you're privileged and wealthy. You don't have to keep bragging about it. Trump can find $40 billion to send Argentina, but he can't find any for the food stamp program. We have to cut spending because of the shutdown. None of the tax cuts are going to get reversed, though, to give us more revenue. None of the subsidies to oil CEOs are going to get reversed. None of the subsidies to billionaires like Elon Musk are going to get reversed. All of those are needed. But the poorest Americans, the aid that they rely on, well, yeah, that has to go right now. It's cruelty, right? Like, you can quickly see through this. It kind of gives the game away. But it's MAGA. This is MAGA's America. It's what they voted for. And we should never forget it in another election cycle. They are the party of privilege for the privileged.